Alrighty. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudtalk number 24. Not that I'm really keeping track. The system just tells me what the number is. Therefore, it's 24. And we're talking about our Lord and Savior, Mr. Golgo 13. There's many iterations of Golgo 13. They're all pretty much the same, though. It's always some guy. We don't know who he is, his background. He comes around, saves the day with an, was it an M6? Some modified...
Yeah,
M4,
highly modified
M16, yes.
Yeah, it's just this crazy...
The episode of the modified M16 was pretty dope.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of gun... I wouldn't say gun porn, but like lots of details on guns and shooting and how the bullet can ricochet and do things against bulletproof glass and what it can't do, and lots of fantasy gun talk, which is not real. And we're going to get into that. So if you guys don't know the story of Golgo 13, imagine a story surrounding something along the plot line of a James Bond scenario or a James Bond movie. Just make it smaller, not as big. So he's not fighting, he's not saving the world. He's just stopping at one evil guy or whatever. And that's what he does. He just stops one guy. It could be any reason. He could be a bad guy. He could just be a guy someone else wants killed. And Golgo says, yes, I'll do it. And voila, that's the story. And there's about, I think, 30 or 40 of these episodes from like 10 years ago. But Golgo 13 was one of the...
Around this.
Yeah, it's around
40 and 30.
But before that, there were... This was since the 60s, I think. There was manga.
Yes, that pretty much it started that the author... who would eventually become the author of Golgo 13, was asked to make a manga adaptation of James Bond. And he did that. And right after that, he had the brilliant idea that, I can make my own character. And he did that.
Yeah, and
I can make
the
a
60s,
super...
all up to the 2021. That's when he passed away. He continued doing the manga.
Nice.
Yes, and he is one of the longest running mangas. I think it has about 200 volumes.
Yeah, not all of them are translated to English.
No, they're not. We only
I had no idea it's that many. I only watched the anime and the let's say debatable live action movies.
Oh yeah, those were funny, weird things in the 70s, which once you do things very well, they want to turn you into live action. I don't know why. So we got a lot of content in Golgo 13, and we only have a brief moment on the TV of about 30 to 40 episodes of animation, which when you watch them, you're like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like it's this crazy simple story. And it's fun, it's silly, it's exciting. It's all kinds
It's very pulp.
Yeah,
it's like very pulp stories.
It's something you can keep watching like an episode a day, and it goes down well.
Yeah, when I was watching the anime, I couldn't stop. Well, it was one episode after another, and I had to, now it's time to stop because it is that good of an anime.
I was honestly surprised how from obviously in the beginning it's just the relatively not crude but direct. Here's your shot of the week. What's happening? Help!
The video.
Why?
We're just talking. I'm just putting something on the screen to let it go.
Yeah, the noise. What the fuck?
Turn the sound off.
What are you doing?
Just turn the sound out.
No, it's on half speed.
Yeah, it's slow, so we get.
And it's horrible. It's horrible sounds.
Turn it off. Turn the sound off. That's not my problem.
Okay. Is that the sound volume just local control?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I didn't know that. All right. So the first episodes is just him doing some special shot, and it's all about how awesome this sniper is, and everybody's in. Oh, you're calling that guy? Oh, it's that guy. Oh, there's only this. That is the shot that's gonna be taken. There's only one guy who can take that, and it's like the first couple episodes. That's always that.
Yeah,
the second episode they talk about is the detective try to find Golgo, try to frame Golgo 13 for the. It is passing on right now in the video for the murder of a CEO and he can't because one, it's 500 meters away from the target, and it was windy. It's like no one could ever do that shot.
Right. In the first episode, the target is like 2 kilometers or something, and that's extreme.
Yes.
That's almost impossible for a sniper. Like I think the average is like 400 to 600 for a sniper. Like that's really far, and 1 kilometer is like forget about it. So this guy Golgo can do the impossible, which is like a 2 kilometer shot, which I would argue is rather ridiculous. So that's
why I like it.
Yeah, that's the mystique. Like you don't know this because we have no idea how guns work and the distance and how you lob a bullet and wind resistance. We have no idea. No one is this kind of expert knowledge. So when you hear someone can take a shot at 2,000 or 2,000 meters or whatever, you're like, does that make sense? Like I have no clue. So that's the mystique. That's the fantasy.
It seems like he has some superpowers almost, but it's never explained why he is this good, why he has this much control over his body. Like he shoots from not the building that everybody expects he shot from, but the building behind that, and through bulletproof glass to get and he gets through it by repeatedly shooting the exact same spot from 2 blocks away while it's windy, while it's raining. That is hammering onto the glass for several seconds with the same into the exact same spot to then get through and get his headshot.
I think
it's just fantastical.
In the same episode, in the beginning, I think some mafia going to try to send some thugs to kill him, and he shoots all 3 in one shot, in one frame.
Yeah, there's an episode, I can't remember what it's called, but they send a guy after Golgo who's just as good with a gun. And
in the Colosseum, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole thing is they're evenly matched. They all have the exact same instincts and skills. And then it comes down to everyone runs out of bullets. And the last thing Golgo has is a gun. Is a knife. And the other guy's like, oh, okay. What's going to happen? Then he doesn't realize Golgo's good at everything. So he throws the knife at the guy dies. So there's all these, like you don't know what's going to happen. Because the stories are so simple and they're set up so easily. And I think bulletproof glass is one of those motifs that keeps getting used over and over because everyone's like, oh, don't worry, it's like 3-panel bulletproof glass, no one get through it. This is 7 bulletproof glass panel. Yeah, like all these.
It gets more creative over time, and
exactly.
There is the water with
ever more creative ways to get around something. And later on, it is actual James Bond nonsense. But how does he get the gun smuggled in, and how does he get rid of it that he is not spotted? Like in the theater, where he has the basically 3D printed gun.
Yes, it was a plastic gun. Like the metal detectors would detect everything, so he brought in a plastic gun. It was a one-shot gun because obviously when you fire something, it blows up the plastic. And to dispose of it, he brought a bunch of helium balloons with him. And as soon as he fired the bullet, they didn't show this on the camera though, so you have to figure it out later. They explain it that this gun is being floated away on these giant collection of helium balloons because he disposed of the evidence. And all this time, he was in incarceration, so he deliberately punches a cop in the face so that they're not busy looking for the gun; they're busy just watching him.
Mm-hmm.
So this entire afternoon passes while his gun is gone.
I meant the one where he has this. It's also some plastic gun, I think. And he organizes the catering for the theater event.
That's great.
He just to get rid of the pot.
Yes, and to get rid of it, he then hides it in the soup pot
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah,
And it's exactly the right temperature so that the plastic would melt into the floor of the pot, so nobody could find the gun.
Yeah, like Golgo does a lot of like social engineering as well. Like he's not just
there is
relying on like
another
his own
one.
skills at like murdering. He knows how to arrange events exactly so he has the perfect alibi. Like the previous episode that was just showcased in this compilation with the balloons and the kill. Like he purposely went to the amusement park, to the shooting range, so he can have like gunpowder residue on his hands. So he has a reason that like, well, yeah, I was on the shooting range. You can't blame this on me.
Yeah, he had made a plan of how to have the perfect alibi on having all the evidence on him while it is indistinguishable from happenstance.
Right. So it's not just, it's usually murder. It's usually killing someone. Like in this case, there's two episodes. One of them has to do with shooting the string off of Stradivarius or whatever. And
yes, that's why I stopped. Why I stopped the video here, because I love this, because he's not actually killing someone. He's hired to kill the self-esteem of someone.
Right.
Well, he killed the carrier of like one of the guys. So.
Yeah. I don't remember all the details. It's been a while since I saw
the other
it,
one.
He was supposed to shoot the string at the exact point where this violinist wants his string ripped at that exact point in the piece before in his career, and it devastated him, and then he tries again, or it's his rival that he wants to do the same, something like that. But Golgo is hired to shoot the string at a specific moment so that the violinist is crushed. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, the other non-violent one I could think of is the wine tasting.
Oh, the wine tasting one. That also backfires.
Awesome.
Yes, that's what I wanted to bring up as the very first one. As I think that's my favorite episode.
Yeah, the ideas are, it's kind of like you have to be careful what you wish for. Like, do you really want Golgo to do this? And if it's not killing anyone, Golgo's like, sure, no problem, I don't care. But once you realize what that means, that person's then faced with the reality of, oh, I got to deal with whatever the hell just happened, and I'll reveal myself to this guy who's just a fellow who's trying to do a job, and I come up across as this lunatic who is emotionally charged and knows what's going on without telling, oh yeah, I hired an assassin to destroy this bottle of wine you're supposed to be tasting. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, and Golgo, I kind of destroyed his mental state, because he say, well, the wine is kind of shit, so...
Right. Wasn't it that the wine maker had this super special wine that is actually shit, and in order to save face at some event where the bottle was supposed to be opened, he wanted Golgo to shoot the bottle at the exact moment that he opens it, so that it looks like it burst from pulling the cork.
Yeah, and he's kind of very xenophobic, like, how can a Japanese know the taste of a wine?
Yeah, from France. That was the big deal, yeah.
Yeah, right. He was pissed that there was a Japanese wine connoisseur and that he was actually good. It was great.
Yeah, so it's not just okay, here's a bad dude trying to kill someone. It's here's a selfish person who can't deal with their own reality, so they have to take extreme measures to hire an assassin to do something crazy. One of them I remember, there's always a weird twist in all of them, whether it's from Golgo or it's from the story. And this is the one that when I talk to other fans of Golgo, they bring up a lot. It's the stupid episode where Golgo shoots a wave, and the wave ricochets the bullet.
I like this episode. This episode, I love it.
Yeah, I love that. That is so stupid. That is the good kind of stupid.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like,
and I knew how what they would use in order to get the shot done, because it's so obvious.
They pretty much paint it for you with the computer simulation. It's like, oh, that's what's going to happen, but it's set up like a James Bond scenario. Like there's an island in the middle of Scotland and Ireland, and it's covered in bulletproof glass. It's 3-tier bulletproof glass. There's no angles for a sniper in a helicopter to ever get in, and it takes like 10 minutes just to set this scene up, and then you find out that the guy who's living in this island is a
human trafficker.
He takes
Worse.
women who are
he harvests organs from the West. The
so
young girls.
He finds people like beautiful girls who are like drug addicts. He fixes them up in his little glass island, and he sells them off to rich people so they could use their organs for whatever. So what ends up happening?
He's selling, it's basically an organ farm.
Right. So
basically,
what ends up happening is one of these guys who's on whatever coast of Scotland or whatever is with his dying wife. She needs a transplant, and they found a donor, and it happens to be this one girl we were following. And it turns out that girl is this guy's daughter. That's why the match was so close for the donor. And they covered it up. They, oh, no. But he was right there when they saw her body up on shore. These two boy fishermen were there because she was on a yacht, and the girl figured out that they were going to sell her to some whatever, take her and harvest her organs. So while the news covered it up, he had to go directly to the guy's glass island, and he's about to kill him. He's like, I can't believe if you were to kill my daughter, you would be putting her organs into my wife. I would never allow that to happen, and you have to be stopped. So he has like some weird like belt knife thing, and he's about to pull it out and stab the guy. His bodyguard shoots him in the arm. He falls down, and as soon as that happens, Gogo's like, you see the bullet hit the wave. My brain goes, ugh.
Yeah, but
I love it.
In that episode, Golgo is really the side character. The episode is really the story of that family and the organ farm.
Right.
And Golgo is just the magical Deus Ex Machina side character that just, okay, Golgo's bullet's gonna come in some way. Like it's propped up as this impenetrable prison. Oh, that's all. Or gilded cage, glass cage in that instance. And it's just it doesn't really matter how Golgo does it. It's just gonna happen. It's just the conclusion of the episode.
I know.
What I find more interesting is that this weird glass island in the middle of the ocean, it should have insane heat in there as it's just open to the sky, and around it you have all this glass that must be. Yeah, it must be doing something with the light to heat everything up in there.
Yeah, all the sunlight's passing through the glass. There's no wind. Know, it would be pretty hot. You're right. Yeah.
Another episode that I like it is here in the Amazon that he fights the ragtag group of raiders, and he basically kills everyone of the Brazilian army.
Yeah, he didn't even get properly paid. He was just like a poor guy like begging him that like, hey, like please save my village.
Wasn't he just pissed?
No, he paid in diamonds because I think the name of the group is Garimpeiros, which means prospectors. You raid the miners and to take all their gains.
Yeah, and like he had this elaborate plan that like he's gonna go to the same airport like from the first episode. He's still like a plane, and then like drop down at the point where
with a fake hostage plot.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a fake hostage plot.
Yeah, and he has only the pilot on the thing in the end or something, or just one other important guy. Leaves the money in the plane. He just wants to drop off above the jungle.
Yes.
He gets some battle jeep, army jeep with weapons on it somehow. And isn't the entire thing then that him basically killing this entire cartel just bait for someone else to show up, or am I mixing that up?
No, he's killing up all the cartel, the Garimpeiros, and he's killing the Brazilian army who's looking for him too.
Yeah, the stories are over the top. They're always about guns or the defense of guns or the defense against guns. Like I remember that episode where there's not a scientist, but a researcher. He's trying to make the ultimate gun. So he hires, I don't know, two other guys.
The French Foreign Legion members.
Yeah.
No, I think it is a German scientist trying to make the ultimate bulb and replace the M16 for all armies.
And Golgo's just like, okay, I'm going to like stand behind this sandbank and judge by hearing and sight the bullets these guys are using so he can figure out, you know, their grain, how they travel. So he's figuring out all this stuff in his head about what these guns can do. So he can figure out how to kill these guys. It's like this, like how can you possibly know the sound of a bullet from a gun you've never seen before? It's like, what is going on? So
it's just getting look. If you've eaten all the steak in the world, you know all the difference. You will be able to tell the minute details of a steak you've never seen just from seeing and smelling it.
It's crazy. Even in this scene right here, he kills two people, and you didn't even like. We had no idea there was another guy.
Yeah, it's just drops.
Yeah.
I really like this switcheroo episode.
And the great thing, the wonderful thing that makes Golgo 13 work is that it's all so over the top. The story, the stunts that he does, but it's all played straight.
Yeah.
And grounded. Everyone's serious. It's as if this is the real world. Everyone acts as if it's all real, the real world. There's no fourth wall breaking or anything.
Right.
And that is what makes it work. And I'm not sure if things like that are still done today. Like
it's more
that everything's played for a laugh nowadays. Yeah, so that's why these extreme things don't work anymore.
It's a bit sad at times because it's so serious. Like even when you have side characters, because the story is not about Golgo, it's about these other characters involved in death.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, so there's this one story about a detective, and he's not even working a case. He's just paying attention and saying, okay, if Golgo's here, he's probably working out. So I'll go stake out some gyms. Oh, look, there's his car. Like he's just basically figuring stuff out. And at the end of the episode, he's on a pier somewhere in, I don't know, the end of a marina, and he's mentioning this thing. Like, hey, you know, Golgo, I don't care. I really don't care what you did. I have a really hot girl I have back at home. I'm not going to think anything about you, what you did, how you did it. None of my business. You have a great life later. And Golgo just stares at him. And the detective says, okay. And he just walks away. And as he's walking away, the camera goes away, and all you hear is a gunshot. Because Golgo does not care. It's like, you know who I am, you're going to die. Even if he was a nice guy.
You mentioned this episode. It is the episode that have one of the best fights that Golgo do against 3 soldiers of the American army.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Golgo has a very, very strict code, and he's not truly evil. He's just like a machine.
Right. Yeah.
He is the professional. Like he only cares about the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you say what his business is, he will kill you because you are basically breaking up the contract.
Yeah, if you are a good guy, so he tends to not like to take jobs to kill good people. He may do it, depending on it is the shot interesting. If the shot is interesting, he may do it. But in general, he seems reluctant about those.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't just take it. It's kind of weird. Some jobs he just takes.
If you know who he is, it doesn't matter if you're the savior of mankind. He'll kill you.
In some cases, it looks like he doesn't care. In other cases, he really does care. And it's either he already has the information he needs for him to pull it off, but he doesn't care about the target. Or sometimes he's like, well, why would you need me? What am I doing here? And they have to explain it to him.
He's interested. He tends to be interested in the motive of his contractor. Like, why do you want me to do this shot?
Right.
Yo, there's one episode too that is about a Rockefeller parody that Obama's appeared in the episode too. It's really cool. But seriously, like the president of the United States in 2008 is Obama. He's like, "Hey, Golgo, you know who I am. You need to stop. Rockefeller is a cool guy.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
remember,
know,
like very powerful guy who literally owns all the money in the world, manages to like freeze Gogo's account, and Gogo is actually like surrounded because like he has to like go to Switzerland and kill this guy, but he has to kill him once he leaves the border. So he somehow manages to go to the airport and like shoots him in the plane just before, just after he leaves the Swiss border. So it's quite very impressive. Nothing can stop the guy. Like every episode is kind of the same, but at the same time, it's like nice to like discover like what is the motive behind it, and is he betrayed or not. Yeah, like one of my favorites is probably like the prison episode, because that's essentially like you're rooting for both Gogo and the guy in the prison that like both of them can escape. Episode. And then it turns out that all Gogo wanted to do is just kill the guy.
That's two. There's one with an impossible shot, where he's shooting through several doors.
It's one where like
and
he
the
gets
other where
to prison itself.
he gets into prison to get someone out, to then kill him outside.
Yes.
That is, and this guy's on death row or something.
Well,
in some super security Alcatraz type prison.
He's in maximum security.
Yeah, which
just like to make sure that he doesn't spill out the beans.
Yeah, it's very similar to the scenarios in Lone Wolf and Cub, where he goes into a place and he's completely surrounded by enemies, or even in prison in certain cases where he has nothing, and he sets up all these, like he lights the prison on fire, so there's a big panic, so he can get to the next cell and kill the guy. So it's very similar to that sort of scenario, where he just has a one-track mind. And the scenario with the prison with the revolving door, like that was crazy. Like there's just one door that rotates.
The episode that was passing in the video, it's cool too. The one he kills the cultists.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one is a pretty cool episode too.
Here comes the episode.
Oh yeah. That's the
bouncing water.
Ricochet on the waves of the pool. It's great.
And the Italian episode as well. Like MI5 or 6 has hired Gogo to kill this guy, and they tell him that like, he probably went to America by now. Like, stop pursuing him here. And like, it's not. No, I'm just gonna follow this woman. But maybe he's gonna show up. And then he just about to show up, and then he kills him.
Yeah, these sort of. I really don't like these ones because it shows the heat map of, thermal imaging of was it infrared, or sorry, ultraviolet light.
Yeah, this is the Brazil episode.
This is the Brazil episode.
It's like as soon as these people die, they have zero heat. There's like no heat off their bodies anymore.
It takes a little bit of
it takes a little bit of time, when you die, for heat to dissipate. So I didn't like that too much. There's always kinds of technical things that always irk me, just because it's like. That's not how this works. Everyone knows that's not how heat works, or that's not how light works, or how bullets work. But they just run with it.
Yeah, it's strange that with this series, I am actually able and willing to keep my suspension of disbelief. It's somehow not breaking. It's just entertaining enough.
Like everyone dies.
He kills a big chunk of the Brazilian army.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills the cartel.
Like this would be
just on a. It's like what do you do? What do you do on a weekend?
Like this would be like top news for the next 2 weeks. Like how giant massacre in South America. Like 20 people died. We don't know what the fuck happened. All these
an entire
U.S. military is monitoring it with all monitoring stuff they have, and like, what the hell is going on in South America? Oh my god! Where did he get missiles from? It's amazing.
Yeah, no, these are all real fun power fan. Well, not really power fans. They're kind of like spy, taking the spy genre. Same way with James Bond, taking the spy genre and amping it up in a certain direction, which is pulpish / political / slice of life. Like it's all these little layers, and you can make that funny. You can make that serious. You can make that. Sending a message about whatever the person in the story is concerned about, like greed or your family or whatever, and just having this episodic style where it doesn't really matter what the show is about. Someone or something is going to lose some aspect of their life or their livelihood. It's always about like, oh, I want to take over the company, or oh, I want to get money to build an empire. So there's always some crazy guy who hires Golgo at the end of the rope. They're like, what do we do? Well, I've got to hire Golgo. There's nothing else we can do. And he comes in and stops them all. So
yeah, there's also sometimes governments hire him,
especially the British government.
They also want to get rid of him because he's too dangerous. But then they have jobs like, shit, we kind of still need him. And oh yes, this is the episode my also most favorite, so maybe second favorite. It just plays in some diner, gas station somewhere in the desert.
Yeah, a very rural area in the desert of the U.S.
Yeah,
I think it's California or Arizona because they going after a heist from Reno.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it is Nevada actually because they stole the money from casinos.
Yeah, but Reno is in California, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
we need an American here to confirm that.
Nevada is not actually that. It's actually close to California, so it can be or Nevada or Arizona.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, but it's another one of these episodes where Golgo is rather the side character, and the actual story is the family that's living there, the family drama of. It turns out that the happy-go-lucky son is the one who comes from the heist, and sorry, and my stomach, and his grandmother, I believe, she's blind, and they're playing some necessary like some charade with her, and it's really tragic. That is, I can't recall the scene enough to retell it. It's an episode I really recommend everyone to watch, regardless of whether you watch the entire anime or not. Because just those scenes up in the little motel room, that is real drama. That is really well written drama that you barely ever see on screen, and it is done with so little text, so little action, and it is absolutely soul crushing.
Well, I do like some scenes where they set up the beginning and it pays off in the end so clearly. Like there's one in Canada, I remember, where Golgo shoots like 2 moose, and the gun is powerful enough with 1 bullet. So, like, it's kind of like literal Chekhov's gun. It's like once you have this thing that can do a thing, you're going to see it later on, and that's exactly what happens. Only instead of 2 moose, it's 2 people. So it's kind of like they set stuff up in a very visual, simple way. You don't need dialogue. You don't need to explain, oh, this is a super powerful bullet with supersonic speeds. No, it's a bullet with a powerful gun.
Oh, that episode is pretty cool too because he gave for one of the village girls there a red jacket. So and the target was oh no, like. Red is pretty clear in the snow. Like right. They are a living target.
Yeah. So it's smart enough that most people can get it very quickly, but there's always that beautiful twist that connects something together, either through the story of the characters or through Golgo himself, with the gun, or
Yeah.
or
where like Matthias described, where he sets up his targets to make a mistake.
yeah, I mean, it sometimes relies too much on Golgo's superhuman powers. Like he could shoot very far, he could shoot very quickly. He can wait in one position for days and days and days. Like all these things that a sniper would have to do in order to be this guy for this scenario, and he is that guy. And that's why they use the Angel of Death reference a lot. It's like, oh, only the Angel of Death would cause something like this. It's like, yeah, he's right outside. He's having a whiskey. Right over there. And they make that joke at the end of every episode, like don't stand behind him if you value your life or something. It's like, what? Don't stand in front of him. Don't stand. Like he doesn't like surprises.
No, don't stand behind of him, because he will immediately see you as a threat if you do that.
Yeah.
And it's also the first thing they play in the first live action movie, where someone accidentally to get the water pitcher to refill his glass of water steps behind him, and the actor who plays Golgo in that immediately turns around and then punches him and knocks him out. Like, whoa, what the hell? Oh, you shouldn't step behind him. Couldn't you have told me? Yeah,
those unfortunately, those live action shows were a little too corny. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It involves a construction site and a crane, and Gogo's on the crane. It's just retarded. There's just it's too stupid. Like there's dumb things.
It's what people tried. It's what people try to do with what they had at the time when effects were limited, and try to be creative. Well, what can we do with this in real life, with our limited things and our limited tricks that we have developed so far?
Yeah.
Like it's if you rewatch the first James Bond movie, which is a rather quiet movie for the most part, it has a similar feeling to it.
I'm just trying to think of those originals, like for the books rather, and I haven't read the original because we're talking about hundreds of mangas from the writer of like what was his concept? Like, what did he really want to do? Because obviously it's transformed in its own thing, but the concept I would imagine should be the same, of an impossible scenario, a guy doing something which is cool that you wouldn't get in a normal story with a hitman running around. It's so clean and over the top that you're like, all right, yeah, if this was a guy running around the world, just happens to be in scenarios where they need a sniper to do something crazy, then it would make sense. Like the first episode just blows me away every time you watch it. It's just like, okay, I'm banging a hooker.
The first episode is like, okay, this is how the series was going to be.
Oh yeah, at one moment he's banging a hooker and then they get attacked. He just throws her into the closet. She's fine. He escapes. Kills the assailants. Jumps on a biplane. Flies all the way down to wherever he has to go. Jumps out of the plane. Takes a shot from 2 kilometers away.
Oh no!
Also,
first he asks like a gunsmith to he commissions him to make him like a really good rifle that can at least shoot like one bullet 2 kilometers away.
Oh right, yeah, that one guy that can do something in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna pay you for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy doesn't come up a lot, but he's basically Golgo's Q.
And sidekick as well, because I think like him or the son flies the helicopter for the glass house.
Oh, that was him?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Because like he asked like Golgo where should I fly?
There's one episode too that he lost his memory and he needs to recover it to see who is the rebel who's trying to kill the king.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He needs to kill the priest, but he doesn't know, and he has the help of this girl that help him to recover them. It is a really neat episode.
The only thing I find sad about the anime is that it doesn't really it it just keeps going the way it is. You don't really learn anything more about Golgo, which is okay in the grand sense, but like you usually when people do this kind of thing, like you every 5 episodes you trickle like one background detail about him somewhere, not something elaborate, just here's a little thing, and 5 episodes later here's another little thing.
I'm fine with it because otherwise the magic would be broken.
Yeah,
you don't
do too much of it, but just here there are little things that you don't explain everything, just enough to keep your imagination going, and that way you also don't write yourself into a corner.
I'm trying to remember.
The problem with that is that like the more you ground the character, because initially he was supposed to be like he was trained by the CIA, the FBI, the KGB, all those like special forces. That like now like if you just say KGB, that's like before the Soviet Union. Oh, okay. Like how old is this character? Because like he's just keeps going. It's the same character since the 60s.
Yeah,
so
like Lupin.
You have to go with the times, unfortunately.
Yeah, but with Lupin, you can play it off as anachronistic jokes, which they eventually do in the 5th season.
Now this is another James Bond.
This is just like
this is amazing. It's a super
like
armored car.
unfazed his face is like every single time, like he's
always stoic.
He's always stoic. Yeah, like he's like the girls are like having sex with him, and that he's just like has the same face. He looks to the ceiling. He doesn't care.
Yeah, this is the joke that we were making.
Yeah,
before.
the women are blown away how amazing the sex was. Like the guy didn't even move.
Like look at this shot. Like it's right through the body.
It is a headshot.
it's over the top.
It is the best, one of the best kills.
Yeah, because the whole car is armored, so he has to go under the. I was like, okay, I get it.
There is a talent here. There is creativity here, because how do you keep the theme of there's a sniper and he always hits and he always headshots if possible? How do you keep that fresh? And this series does it for episode after episode after episode. And that is the art.
Oh, this was great. I love this scene so much. Oh, that was such a cool shot. Oh, he hears where the bullet came from. He moves accordingly.
The episode of the Irish Rebellion.
Yeah, no, it was great. He was just sort of in the way, and he just is he going to do it? Is he not going to help? I don't know. Oh, this one was nuts.
This one is pretty cool too.
This one is crazy.
He flips to the right.
This is so like this guy like.
Should I played like that instant transmission sound effect from DBZ?
Oh yeah.
And that's how you keep the impossible bullet dodge fresh. Like, you make it even more dumb.
This guy's a bomb. He's like, didn't work. Still around.
Yeah. Oh, he has a crazy face, so I better dodge. Okay.
Yeah.
This one is one of the episode of his Asian rivals that it is from the KGB.
My only problem is with when there are other Asian gangsters like Yakuza. They have extremely similar faces like him, and sometimes they couldn't keep the two apart.
Was this the episode with like mind control or drugs? I can't remember why.
Yeah. It is the episode of the KGB agent that wants to kill him.
And he mind control other people to act all weird or something, and
yeah, they lose their sense of fear.
Yeah, and they're in the parking garage and they blow themselves up. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it was just this weird, like what? Like I don't like it when stories go that way, where it's like, oh, we have mind control, we have drugs, we have hypnotism, and you're like, like this is just so like, huh? What? What? You got a dead man switch on him? Like, okay. Here's another person. Okay. This just blows up.
That's kind of
I love it. It's
zombie
just
invasion.
so
It's
campy.
so over the top.
Yeah, it's just so goofy. Like they could have done like a
So the
dozen
best
different
is-
things. They're just
This
gonna-
is Dunn. Dunn just takes off.
Here we go. Boom, headshot.
It's always a headshot.
Yeah, and this is how you make it look good with few frames. You just make still frame, still frame, still frame. Like you're showing this, like you're faking slow motion.
Yeah, it was just such. That was the weird. To me, that was the weirder, one of the more weirder episodes to have mind control and all that other shit. All these people that were all mind
One
control.
of the other in the same category is the one that he's freezing his muscles to have a steel shot. I think it was a French prison.
Oh really? Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, there is one door, and he needs to kill the guy who is the one door, the prisoner who is the other side of the door. But it only opens in a certain moment, in a certain time of the day, and needs to keep there for a long time. So he uses a drug that basically freezes his muscles, so he can shoot.
I think this guy's already dead, and he's been controlling them from like months ago to set this whole thing up, something like that.
No, he's alive.
Oh, he's alive. I can't remember. It was this weird.
It was a decoy.
He was on the outside in the.
Yeah, okay, I got it. All right. It was a fake. All right. Yeah, I never really liked that one. I was like, okay, that's a bit too much. Trying to figure out who's trying to kill him. Okay. Series.
I like there's the episode where Golgo finds out that he actually has a son.
Oh,
prostitute.
yeah.
Yeah.
The prostitute
that one
like
is
brings it
pretty
up to the boss that like, hey, and then the boss like uses as like an exchange that like, hey Golgo, we know that you have a son. You gotta care about him, don't you? And then Golgo just starts walking away.
He actually had two sons.
Yes, from the
The
Irish.
Irish lady had one with him.
But
I don't remember
that kid
the
was
other
too
Irish.
stupid and like pulled the grenade.
Only remember the one at the construction site.
The construction.
Yeah, the Irish.
The construction
Irish-
side was like more like on the nose, but like the other one was like, oh, so that was Gogo's son because like they said like they had like sex. That's why.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
one at
she
the
even-
construction site survived, right?
Yeah, that one survived.
Yeah, and that's where he came across, where Golgo came across as, yes, he does care, but he does it in a way that people cannot obviously see, and he cannot show that he cares because that would make him vulnerable. But he did ensure that the kid survives, and the best thing that he can do is not be a father for this kid.
Yeah, the Irish one was actually more tragic because the one of the side character had a box full of defused and bombs, and the kid is basically exploded himself.
I remember this. This girl just wanted to find him. I think this was the prostitute. I can't remember.
No, it was a Norwegian lady that was basically sitting by his side on the plane, and
Right.
they had sex, and he kills her.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, if you just didn't do this, you would have been fine.
I'm just sometimes weirded out because Golgo's head is like his eyes are so far up, it looks like he has no brain.
Dead.
Gone.
He's a yeah. But
Yeah,
she wanted this. She actually wanted this.
No. Two girls actually said, "Yeah, you can kill me because we don't need to know because we know you." Oh, this is the movie episode. This one is pretty good too.
Oh, the two movies. Yeah, I never really enjoyed the two movies too much. Oh, sorry. This is the documentary episode. This is where they're trying to do that stupid.
You didn't like The Professional, really?
Queen Bee and the other one were okay. They were just kind of like.
Queen Bee, it's fine. I don't know. He's not really over the top. He almost doesn't, almost never kills her Queen Bee, because he needs to kill her. Then he's always being hindered by other people.
That's a multi-kill.
That was unnecessary, Golgo. You didn't have to kill everyone. One person.
I think that's. I mean, the series leaves room for interpretation. You could interpret that as, you guys are fucking with me.
Yeah.
I will wreak havoc, and it's your fault because you are fucking with me. So stop fucking with me, or more innocent people die.
Yeah, that reminds me of like a dumb Star Trek episode where they're recording these events. And you're like, oh, it's kind of silly.
But I did like it's one of the later episodes where there's this. So Golgo is the ultimate sniper, and then there's this ultimate photographer for some newspaper.
Oh God, that one, yeah.
Yeah, and the ultimate photographer tries to take his magnum opus of a photograph of Golgo 13 in action as he pulls the trigger. And he is waiting with his camera for Golgo the way Golgo waits for his targets with his sniper rifle. And I think at the end the photographer pulls out because it got too dangerous for him.
No, I think
somehow Golgo found
always
noticed. What?
Golgo's actually kills the photographer. Yeah. This one is pretty cool too. The two assassins that was hired to kill Golgo. And demonetize.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doink.
Oh yeah, that was so anticlimactic, that guy.
I'm going to throw another knife.
Nobody could dodge my knife.
Doink. Like what was your plan here, buddy? Like what were you trying to do?
Why can't he still walk?
Yeah.
But wasn't he the guy who hired Golgo?
Yeah, no, he was the guy hired to kill Golgo.
Yeah.
Ah, right, he was full of himself. He thought he used Golgo's name, I think.
Yeah, he uses Golgo's name.
That's a no-no in the business. You don't
yeah.
You don't make believe.
Golgo 14.
Yeah, and that guy, that the old guy was the actual target or something. And the imposter just basically rushed in and just found death. Like Golgo, I think Golgo didn't even know who he is.
I like how Golgo is just casually there, standing there with the M16.
Yeah, in the middle of a theater.
Let's turn off the lights. I'm gonna walk out. Night, everybody.
Yeah, just me and my M16.
Bye.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, great. Those were all the kills from the series.
No.
Actually,
there's more.
No, there's more.
There's more. I could find them.
Oy vey.
Da, 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 da. Where's the long
Another
version?
kill that I like is one that he kills a mysterious guy who he steals money from rich men in France and Europe, and he's like in the audience, talking with a woman in the racetrack. I don't remember that well, but it is one of my favorite kills in the Golgo 13.
This is not a video.
I know. There we go. All right.
Ah, the ship. What happened on the ship? I think I liked the ship episode, but I forgot everything about it.
That's
yes, another one of those
remember.
super snipers.
I can't remember.
I think the U.S. military or the police like hires Golgo to like take out the terrorists that took over the boat because it has like some valuable material. But meanwhile, they also like pull in this like ex-convict who is like a really good sniper.
All this tension. It's like the guy's been shot. He stands there for like 10 seconds. I'm like,
Yeah, because he thought he had shot Golgo. But Golgo as a moving target instead shot him, and while he missed. That's usually one of the things that happens when he's
Golgo
meeting
could have
with
told him
someone.
that, like, your only mistake is that the series is not named after you. Otherwise, you would have survived.
Yeah, well, that's usually what happens when he meets someone who is really good. It's this impossible standoff moment, and of course, Golgo does it.
oh no. What's he gonna do in a biplane? Who knows?
Oh, and the other guy had this 60s facial character design, like lovely.
I mean, Golgo himself is just that.
All the pressure in the cabin's gone.
I think that's the least problem.
And boom.
like a flyby headshot.
If you get a hole in your window, that window's toast. Just boom. There it is.
Golgo had no idea about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he got actually surprised.
I could have died.
And here comes the guy. Yeah, I killed him. I killed my boss.
Idiot. Stop making me look stupid.
He just wanted to kill his father or something? Father? Was it the father or the boss?
The boss. The boss.
Okay.
Yo,
The wine
yeah,
episode.
the bottle,
I
the
love
wine
it. I love
episode.
it. The story of this episode is so amazing. The characters are amazing.
I think like there was another episode with the mansion. Like that was also cool. Like it turns
Yeah,
out
the
that the
one
butler was the actual target.
I remember that one. The one where the British government said, "Hey, this guy is a terrorist. He is a human trafficker. We need you to kill him."
Oh my god.
The government is trying to protect this guy.
So tense. So dangerous.
He knows that the shot is gonna come.
No.
What did I do?
And that's how you destroy a Frenchman moral.
Yeah.
Right. It was supposed to be the Japanese guy who was supposed to open.
Yeah, you was supposed
And-
to be the Japanese guy.
Yeah, and breaking the bottle was supposed to humiliate him.
Yeah. So he was
But
doing
the Japanese guy somehow insisted that
Whisp,
that he did it
that is
instead.
the episode
that the
with-
owner do it instead.
Yeah,
That's
this is the one. This
episode
is the
with
one.
the plastic model that can melt to the bottom of the pot.
Oh yeah. Right. It wasn't actually a gun. It was a pseudo.
It was a pen.
thing.
It was a gun pen or something like that.
it's an actual gun.
Yeah. hired as a bodyguard, but really as an assassin. It's great. But why does he have time?
Do 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 do.
Why did he have time to throw it away? I forgot.
Oh, is this the one to kill the horse? There is one he needs to kill a horse during a race.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, there is one. He needs to kill a horse.
These really nice sports cars.
Isn't that nice? That
No, he
gets
always
every episode?
use a sports car.
Doesn't have 300 horsepower. He doesn't want it.
Yeah, is that the episode? He kills the horse.
Oh, Ego Dreamer. There are live action movies, but they're so old and not that great.
Boom.
But I do remember the theme in one of them. Right, the theme in one of the live action movies reminded me of a part in the theme of Game of Thrones. Maybe they stole from Golgo 13.
Dead.
Even if it didn't hit the
It's
horse.
just like JoJo Part 7.
This is my canon. This is my head canon. The Game of Thrones people stole their music from Golgo 13.
Really?
By the way, yeah, music. Golgo 13 music is amazing. All the soundtracks are good.
It's just like it becomes like a cliche because every time like you hear that sound effect, like you know what's gonna happen.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
That
Yeah, you can do the same thing every weekend, like a Saturday morning cartoon, but you just have to be good about doing it.
Yeah, I
And they
really
were
want to
pretty
see
good.
like the manga because like if this guy managed to like write for 50 years, like,
that was
he
the
had like a
episode
following
I was
as
talking
well.
about.
Yeah, that means that this anime could be continued forever.
Yes.
Yeah, you could.
Like One Piece, watch out. Here's a new content.
He's
Yeah, no, but knowing that it's really a lifelong project with the manga, I'm now more inclined to look into that as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunately only like until the 70s it's been translated, but most of it is just like, well,
Mostly,
It's
you
it's
need
just
to
in
find
Japanese.
You need to find the fan translations.
Oh, I know this is the episode where there's the cross-dresser because like he
Yeah,
is assigned to like
he's a-
kill someone. It turns out
He
that
is a
like the guy is
criminal.
like pretending to be the maid of this woman.
Yep.
That was so weird.
feels like a comic book right now. It's just like this noir scenario. It's like, what's going on? We're just-
Golgo 13 is actually very noir too. If you look
Mhm.
at in some episodes. Dead.
Bam. So I don't give a shit.
half the people Gogo talks to are gonna die anyways. It's,
There he is, the cross-dresser.
Like, your reasoning is dumb. Bam.
you hired me, now you die, or you were my target. all
Here's
along.
here's my pitiful story that may bring out compassion. You bam. I just love how no nonsense this is. It is so no nonsense that it becomes nonsense. That was the actual target.
Love it.
Great episode.
Ah.
That shot could be from Perfect Blue.
Well, that wasn't even a warm up for Gogo. He was like, just cross the street. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Ego Dreamer says Golgo 13 versus Lupin the Third when?
Versus? What do you mean versus?
I don't think they. I think that's an impossible battle. We can't do that.
This was great.
The universe will implode.
The mobster.
I think here's the translated. He's faking being a Brazilian writer.
Wasn't this just a bait for the
Yes,
actual?
it was just a bait.
Yeah, that's just a.
I think the greatest, dumbest thing that is James Bond and Mission Impossible turned up to 13, haha, is when he explodes the building.
Oh yes,
He explodes the building that is in the way of his shot just before he can take the shot, and waits for the building to come down at the right moment, and with the mob boss or something, just leaving his super secure car. It's just
like,
split seconds.
Didn't he pay off like one of like those hobos who was like doing modern art, and then he said like, hey, like here's all the money for it. Like now fuck off and like let me demolish this building.
Oh yeah, that was a side plot, and the landlord of the building then thought, somebody actually bought all of it. He was an actual genius, and I knew him. Well, you always wanted to throw him out for being a craphead. This is great. This is great.
I think
later on, Golgo just becomes the side character in his own show, but in a good way. And that's it's great because it's the author can tell great stories beside just sniper good. He can tell the sniper good thing, and then he builds stuff around it that is an actual world with actual people in it.
Yeah, there is.
This is an insane shot.
It's all secure. No way anyone can shoot from
There's
it.
no way
absolutely impossible.
Can shoot him.
Yeah. Absolutely impossible. Boss, you can come out to move from your super secure car into the bank.
I love that this video exists. Like somebody was thinking about it. Like, yes, this is so fucking good.
What the hell is going on over there? Never mind all this smoke.
Boss, maybe we should go inside.
Yeah,
everybody's shocked. Like, the building on the opposite side of the street is coming down. Let's not run away.
Gogo is like, why is this smoke? I don't care.
And he is already exactly on his forehead with the. He already knows where to aim. Like, what is this guy?
Before the smoke gets anywhere near me, I was just like, oh, no, it's gone. Smoke's gone.
My job here is done.
Yeah. Perfect cover. A giant building collapsed.
Yeah. That's a great one too. The rival assassin.
The only difference is he has bigger lips and no eyebrows.
Yes, that is his shortcoming.
And look, he has the same eyes. These weird, really weird.
He is from the Golgo series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
he's Golgo 12.
Golgo is the proof that anime is not all about these super giant eyes on everyone.
Yes, but I think like Smudtalk like had like a good example that like Hitman, but like, I feel like Hitman is more considered to be a human compared to Golgo 13.
Yeah.
When you do a video game,
Hitman can actually die.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a story. There's characters. There's supporting cast. He comes from a training facility or whatever. Golgo is no idea where he comes from.
Yeah.
Just a machine.
This is the episode that two rich guys keep paying to see a fight between Golgo and this assassin.
It's like, yeah, it's done. We're done.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah, but this is one of the few characters he actually has a conversation with. And that is maybe because he actually understands Golgo's point of view.
Now he's actually, yay, can you kill those guys who contracted me to kill you?
Yeah, and because the other guy is so good, Golgo has respect for him. This is also a thing. For really good shots, he has enough respect to like fulfill a last wish even without the money. Sometimes he doesn't take the money.
Yeah.
And from those few moments, you can piece together his actual character beneath this stone cold robot. When does he even work out to stay this?
Yeah, that was the one episode with the detective. Like he figured out in order for Duke Togo to be that strong and fit, he has to work out every day. So he canvassed all these gyms and he found them.
Look, there you go. That
Boom.
Boop, boop.
he infiltrates the Italian army who was traveling to South Africa.
It's too late now.
Ah!
Yeah, he was already in the target country. They wanted to flee to.
Ah!
And
Like, it doesn't matter like where you are. Like, Golgo is gonna find you. Like, even if you just go to like the space.
he will be there.
That's still missing.
It's kind of like
Golgo in space.
Batman with prep time. It doesn't matter what the problem is. Just give him enough time. He'll figure it out.
And if you keep hindering him, he will not stop. He will keep doing.
Oh, no, but Batman is always catching up to his targets. Golgo is somehow he's ahead of you.
He's always for parallel type universes ahead of everyone.
Yes, I would say. So if you did these stupid character versus character things, Batman versus Golgo wins.
Golgo wins against everyone, including Dr. Manhattan. He will find a way to kill a, I don't know, literal god.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
we have no magic stuff in Golgo. It's a very, very grounded thing.
Gotta keep everything believable.
Yeah. It does impossible physics, but it doesn't do magic.
Yeah, like Golgo would not dress up as a woman and walk around with. He's not gonna. He's just gonna be. He's gonna wear a suit. He's gonna use one of his 3 guns, and maybe a modified M16. That's about it. That's all he'll use. And a knife. He has a knife. That's about it.
I think this is the episode we was talking about Whisp from the motel one.
No. The motel was the one in the desert. We already had that earlier. I just can't piece it together anymore.
Yeah, I forgot. This is the one that the CIA agent kills the Russian ambassador.
Yeah, and the one in the desert, that episode could have just as well have played in 1850. It was like a tiny little Western story. Boing.
That took like 5 seconds. Maybe 2.
Where'd he have the gun? Where'd he hide the gun? Is that why he's not moving during sex? Like, look at the size of that.
He's always with a gun, no matter what.
It's under his pillow, even when he's awake. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
Yeah, right, Ego Dreamer. Batman's no-kill rule versus Golgo's don't-care rule. Yeah, Batman can't stop Golgo if he doesn't kill him.
I would go far to say Golgo would kill Batman.
He can kill Zack Snyder's Batman.
All right. Good old England.
That's one of a great plot twist.
I'm assuming this guy had a photograph and just drew it over. Yeah, here's a
I
great.
don't remember this one.
Yeah. Too slow.
That
She's like waiting. He's like, yeah, whatever.
he already had the gun pointed at her.
I think she also hired him initially. Or something like that.
Yeah, she hired him to protect him against the Russian army.
I love how it's like you have a few moments of existence before you expire. Like your heart is still working. Your brain still received that blood from like 10 seconds ago. You still have some moments. One of your lungs is still...
Some air.
You still have some air
left. And you say your last words and Golgo doesn't even give a shit. You could talk to the air. It doesn't make a difference.
There it goes, Marc.
There it is. I have a big gun. I'm surprised he just didn't use a crossbow bolt. That'd be powerful enough.
He would still get fined.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he deliberately gets into trouble with the fine.
You can't kill two.
And that's right. Whoa! How he killed two with one bullet?
It pierced through one.
Ah, those mountain officers. They were funny.
He just decks him.
Oh, not the coffee.
Always the coffee.
Doink.
Perfect headshots.
It's always perfect headshots.
Yeah. But he didn't kill the officers. Because now he has an alibi.
Well, this is the one chick in the ending.
Leaves the red coat behind just on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, and he took away all the clothes and left new clothes for her. And that's that.
It's a trap.
Doop 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 doop.
Bang.
One bullet.
Pew. Not pew pew, just pew.
You know, like I could have just like envisioned that like he's gonna shoot the helicopter. And it's just gonna crash down.
Honestly,
if it happened in a Michael Bay movie, the snowmobile would have now exploded and then made the helicopter explode.
He's doing no scope.
Yeah.
Even no scope, he still gets the kill.
I forgot what this was. This is where he was
Amnesia.
in
The Amnesia episode.
Yeah, in the cave. I think that's where he was most human. And that was not a lot.
Yeah.
That was a nice trick shot. Very simple.
Ouch.
Some visuals.
Where'd it come from? No idea.
Yeah, that was a nice simple one.
Hey, look, it's Stanley.
Hot feller.
Young Stanley, yeah.
Yeah, it's Stanley. I thought so too.
It's a nice view.
Was he the guy who wanted to hire Golgo?
He wanted to buy Golgo, like one of his employees. Like he owns everything, so but not Golgo, and he really wants Golgo to be one of his assets.
Yeah, like on a payroll, and Golgo doesn't do payroll.
Salary.
And they are not aware that he is on the boat. Dead. There we go. There's the
Oh,
episode
yeah,
I was
there it
talking
is.
about.
This ridiculous door.
One of my favorites.
Several doors.
Yeah,
Several doors have to open at the exact same time, and
He have one shot.
yeah,
One of my favorite kills.
yeah. And he's waiting for days in that tree house he built.
This is not accurate because there was also the fitness guy that he kills. So,
Yeah.
well,
Which
does it
is
happen
right
right
after
after this
this.
one? There we go.
Yeah, it's the revolving door, then the door into the corridor, and then the cell hatch.
So he fires the gun with his teeth. He's so stiff.
Because his muscles were so stiff at that point. And so that the gun would stay steady. Great
There
visuals.
he is, Mark.
Right, yeah.
He uses a very weird gun.
Even numb Golgo can
Didn't
deal
he-
with this guy.
Yeah, right. He drugged him, right?
Yeah, he made his muscles be stiff on purpose.
This is how Batman would need to
right,
do it.
Not right now. The best gun you'll ever see.
Just be glad the weights didn't land on his head.
Even now, he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
That's just
one
amazing.
of the best guns that he used it.
Oh, it's great. That's pretty much Batman. He predicted he was going to get fallen over, and the equipment would just break apart.
One of the best episodes.
No, I don't think so. I think that was actual circumstance.
I don't know how he made that gun. Like, I'm pretty sure that was this gun was made by the fitness guy because it is his gene.
I think that's just part of the training equipment to adjust the height of one of the equipment racks with a strong what do you call that in English? Feather? Not feather. Spring, with a strong spring inside, and that would push out the iron bar.
Yeah. No, this is the episode that the Chinese hire him to protect him from the U.S. government.
Just kills all these guys.
Pew 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 pew.
It's so casual about it.
It's funny because the U.S. says, "Oh, these Hong Kong movies are making Hollywood to be bad. We need to kill this director and this actor."
Mm-hmm.
Send the national.
He gets hired by them to be a bodyguard.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood. It is possible to make stupid action movies and make them enjoyable and good. You don't need to do this schlock you always do. Look at this stuff.
He does a pretty good plan like this, using the gas to basically pulls everyone out.
No, Hollywood couldn't make a Hitman movie, and they had like 2 chances for that.
And all of them were bad.
Like, what the hell is going on? Bump.
No
Was this
way.
the government surveillance episode?
Yeah, the national government trying to kill the Chinese.
If all Golgo does is shoot the gun out of your hand, he wants you alive.
It was the
There is the kid.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the one where he crash lands on that island, and it's like they are testing the mecha.
This is so silly.
Yeah, that was a Golgo episode. You're right. Completely forgot about that. That was an amazing episode.
This one is the last
And
episode.
he wasn't. Yeah, and he wasn't. They didn't expect him on the island. He gets there by chance, at random, after some other thing he did. It's like he's stranded on that island and got into this testing, military testing nonsense. They were all thinking, "Oh yeah, this mecha is really great, it's awesome, it kills everything." And then there's this one guy turning up, and like, what the fuck? Why is our mecha losing?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Well, we just saw a bunch of the quick shots of the death scenes of all these random characters in these stories, but if you actually do watch the show, there is a story behind each of them. It's not just cool thing happens. It's story, and then like you get like 2 seconds or 2 minutes of what you just saw on
cool
screen.
things happening.
It is good build-ups. It is really good build-ups.
That's what you like. That's what I like about the idea of violence, or the idea of things which have a lot of value. You set it all up. It's slow. It's like, okay, stuff is happening, like stuff in Ireland, some resistance, some rich prick, whatever, some backstory. Build it all up. Golgo gets called in. He knows what he's doing. We don't know how he's going to do it. We get a little few clues here and there. Some episodes you don't get any clues until right near the end, and they explain stuff like the soup or the balloons or like all those wonderful things you don't know. And you're like, how did he do that? And he's last 2 minutes, boom, and then by that time he's gone. He's already.
You get your pay. You get your payoff.
You are always wondering how he's going to kill this guy now.
It's great.
And I like the episode is never episode 1 or episode 2. It's actually target 1, target 2. That was a neat.
Right.
Yeah, right. It is like a crime thriller, just that it's not about how did he do it, like how did the criminal do it, and you figure it out together with the detective. Some episodes are trying to be that angle, but it's always more like how is he going to do it.
Yeah, and the same idea with a detective story is you assume the detective is always going to solve the case. You assume Golgo's always going to win. He always wins. And you're not sure how exactly, though. So that's part of the fun, because you get your payoff. He's going to win. How he gets there is usually super efficient.
Some weird little detail.
That you go, oh yeah, that's totally what Golgo would do. He wouldn't care. Like he has things to do. Boom, boom, boom. You're in the way. Oh, you know who I am? You're dead too. Okay, we're done. Like everything's clean. There's no fuss. There's no emotion. There's no pride. You know, he uses silencers whenever he can. So it's very clean. It's very professional. That's his name, The Professional. So it's a great show.
Some games too, but mostly NES games.
What?
Well, there were video games back in the day. Yeah, there's all kinds of weird stuff like that.
There was some NES games for Golgo 13.
Really?
Yeah, the same with Fist of the North Star. There was stuff like that because it was popular in the same time, like the 70s and the 80s. So they were licensing all kinds of stuff, whether it was animations or video games. And hard to find, but
I would actually love to have a Golgo 13 game.
There is for the Super Famicom.
Really?
Just Famicom, yeah.
I thought it was NES.
It's very primitive.
Ego Dreamer has another suggestion. Golgo 13 versus Detective Conan.
Oh, God.
Goodbye, shrimp.
Who could be the murderer?
You better not know.
Poirot would be dead in the end of the book.
Yeah, that's sad.
Conan might find out where the sniper actually shot from, but that's it.
Yeah, he'd be long gone by then.
Just so that this character can stay alive, because he's just anyone's gonna be dead if he gets too close.
There is one episode, one of the detective episodes, that they are finally finding who killed the superstar, and he destroyed the data.
So
destroy the computer.
So the detective doesn't always win, you're saying?
Yeah,
but I think the enticing thing about Golgo is that he is this kind of the proper way to write a mysterious guy, that he's definitely not the good guy, but he's also definitely not evil. And you try to figure out from his actions, from his choices, from which not cases, contracts, what jobs he takes and what he rejects, and who he lets go, because very rarely he does, what his actual character is. And that is part of it. Trying to find out what is Golgo, what is going on in his head.
Well, it's the same personality of James Bond. James Bond is there as a vehicle for the scenario, for action and chase scenes and fight scenes and all kinds of ridiculous techno jargon for him to enact and blow up. And when we do stories like Skyfall, or we see these more elaborate, personalized stories of Bond, those can be done. The problem is they take away from what Bond is supposed to be, his role in the story. And we don't need to know every detail. And even with
we don't need to know, but we wonder, and that is what keeps us connected.
Right. So when we have relationships with Golgo with some women where he had a kid, it's like, that's weird. It's just enough to say, oh yeah, he was here before. He had a life, or he passed through here before. Same with Skyfall. We don't know all the events of Bond's time in the orphanage.
The important thing is here with Golgo, everything about his background that we learn is 99% show don't tell. Well, where these characters get destroyed is where the script tells us everything instead of showing us anything. Best example, Han Solo's last name.
Oh no, that was
nobody needs that. Han Solo worked because he was just Han Solo. He was just that smuggler guy.
We didn't need to know why he got the name Solo.
Yeah, we do eventually learn why he chose Golgo 13 as a pseudonym. But that's all. That's just what other people in this world speculate about. So that's also interesting.
He's so notorious that
it's not definitive. It's just people think, that's his moniker. So he named himself after this biblical event.
People get scared of shit when they discover, oh wait, Golgo 13 is trying to kill me.
Right. It's the same with the name Duke Togo. Do we even know that's his name? Does it even matter what he's called? What he's connected to? Where he came from? There's a little bit of that in the movies, but it's not that important. And unless you want to focus on the dramatic aspects of being this kind of person, it's going to be a different story. It's going to have a different vibe. And that's when we look at Skyfall, we say, well, it was good as a movie, but was it good as a Bond film? And that's why you have these really long movies now that try to do more than one genre. And you have, okay, it's drama, it's romance, it's old man past his prime, it's action,
it's actual movie.
There's
I think it's something
espionage, like all this stuff.
Something very difficult to pull off, right?
Yeah, and
so speaking
with the Batman film, I haven't seen it yet. I'll get around to it, but is it 3 hours or so? Like
3 hours.
It's like, okay, guys, you're obviously not sure what you're doing here. You obviously don't know how to tell a story properly. Yes, you have action scenes, and yes, you have this and that scene, which I'm sure is very Batman-like, but it doesn't take 3 hours to get there. The same with Batman v Superman. It doesn't take 2.5 hours to get to wherever the hell Batman and Superman have to go to get to a fight scene. Like they could have focused on that so fast, so quickly, and developed it, but nope. They could not do the basic setup of explaining why Superman is doing what he's doing and why Batman is doing what he's doing. It was just dumb. It was a miscommunication at best of why they fought and why they stopped fighting, which was retarded. So all of these things that we see nowadays with big names like from DC or all these other well-known brands, they just want to get them out the door. Oh, it's Batman, it's going to sell. It doesn't matter, but the story doesn't matter. Who cares about quality? When we have guys in manga from Japan who write their hearts out, they don't know about fame and fortune. They just want to tell their story and get a paycheck and keep telling their story. And then someone says, hey, we can use this. This is great. We can make an anime out of this. We can. Obviously, the live adaptations needed some work, and the movies weren't that great. They could have used some work too. But people like this stuff.
I really hope Netflix doesn't get its hands on Golgo 13.
That would be... It is so subtle. The Japanese stories of like Lone Wolf and Cub, Golgo 13, they're so simple. But there's all this other story around them. And if they can't understand that, There's no way.
Netflix would give a background to Golgo, and that would ruin his character. Like, you don't need to know his background.
You know what? It is possible some guy would say, listen, it's a story about a guy. No one knows anything about him. He's really good with a gun. That's it. We focus on the other characters. And it's episodic. We bring in high talent names every episode, and one of them is going to die. That's all we know. Go. That would work. And that's all you have to do for, 2 years or 3 years until people get bored. It would be fine. You could keep doing it. And you could get, I don't know, some 50-year-old actor, like a Steven Seagal looking guy.
Who can actually stand up, yes.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have to act. Just stand. Just stand and point a gun. That's all he has to do. Steven Seagal could do
Don't
it.
smile.
He needs
Don't
to be,
smile.
he needs to
Don't
be
articulate.
100% stoic every time.
Yeah, don't talk. Don't smile. Don't blink.
Whisp is posting the authors here.
I
He seems to have fun.
I found some pictures of him. He looks a little bit like a Japanese Stan Lee.
Oh, okay.
When he has his mustache. The one where he sits there with the cigarette.
Yeah, he's exactly how I imagined Gogo's author to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away, so rest
Yeah.
in peace.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
He had a good run, though.
I like that bust of him in the background. That's great. Holding the gun.
Yeah.
That's that Golgo statue is perfect.
Some people have body pillows. Some guys have a Gogo 13
That's going too far, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this one's great.
Look, you even have the M16 as part of the statue.
He's standing there with his cane next to this giant that is Golgo.
Should just lay down on like an M16. It's a cane.
Oh, yeah. All right. Do we have any stream memes? Let me just check. I doubt it. No, we might.
No.
We don't. Fantastic, guys. No stream memes. You can't make fun
No
of Duke
stream
Togo.
memes.
Oh, we got a what's the name of the author?
I don't know.
I don't know. Ask Google.
Man, we know his face before we know his name.
Yeah.
Then it's like Golgo.
Takao Saito.
Takao Saito. He got 84 years old.
Nice.
Yeah.
Doing the one thing he loved doing.
Mm-hmm.
Writing Golgo's story. Anyway,
In 68.
Yeah. Young man did all his life. Same story.
Oh, apparently it still continued. What the hell?
Wow, really?
Yeah,
like-
they are continuing the manga even after his death.
Jesus Christ. I do
Has
know
he-
that like he
did he-
knows like how he wanted Gogo to end. He just didn't he didn't know that he's gonna die. So
So he left notes enough.
but yeah, he left. Like he said like he has like a proper ending for the series in his drawer. But he only wants it once it's like feeling like it.
Let us see how Golgo's 13 story will end. I hope he doesn't die.
He has to kill his evil brother.
Oh, good.
How about that?
Well, anyway, guys, that was just Smudtalk about Golgo 13, this series, about 50 episodes long. I thought it was 30 to 40. I forgot it was 50 long. Jeez. Great series. It's fun. It's simple. It's one of the few, I don't know what to call it. It just sort of every episode is its own thing. It's all the same setup. Golgo goes in to do a job, gets it done. He goes home or goes wherever. So that's it. And it just keeps doing that every single episode. It's not your traditional arc. It's not your traditional set of characters. Everyone's new. You might get some repeating guys like the gunsmith dude, but it's just cool, fun. It's got good side characters with their own worlds, and there's lots of death. That's one of the constants in the Golgo series. there might be 1 or 2 episodes where no one dies. So that's
there's only 2 episodes.
yeah, which is nice change. But death is always a big point in storytelling, and I'm glad to see it done well. And if you like James Bond, if you like James Bond on crack, this is what you're going to enjoy. It's that fun. So we just showed you the action scenes. If those could be called action, and it may be only the last 5 or 6 we saw, those were very well animated, lots of special effects and lighting and what have you. The early episodes, the first 20, very plain, very straightforward.
They're just establishing Golgo as who he is, how he
Super
works.
assassin.
Yeah, and then it starts playing around with genre in the characters that are part of the case, if you will. With Golgo, we know what's Golgo gonna do. We don't know how he's gonna do it, but since that gets stale after a while, we instead focus on the rest that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
What's the actual plot? Why are people doing what they're doing? Why do they want anyone dead? What other things are going on? And then it just becomes this endless tragedy. And sometimes it's this just a little story of humility with the wine bottle.
The funniest thing, last night, Mateus sent me some link to some Twitter. I was like, whatever. I click on it, and it's this Japanese airing of the Oscars. And there's this Japanese woman describing what's going on. I was like, why is Will Smith getting swearing? Like, is this a live show? Like, what the... I don't understand. So it's like, if you wanted to make a series of clips of Golgo 13, there's a Twitter Japanese clip, because apparently they cut the audio of the live broadcast in America, but not the live audio in Japan.
In Japan and Australia, they didn't cut the audio.
Yeah.
So if you want to see what Will Smith said to...
Yeah, go for, I don't know, maybe a bullet goes across the screen and hits Chris Rock in the face. I have no idea. Anyway.
There's a meme there.
That was fun. I love watching Golgo. I love listening to the music. I love the shots. It's a great series.
Take the Wave from Nightfall, one of the best intros.
Every time that plays, even when I was watching some episodes this morning to keep my mind fresh, I had to watch the intro every time.
I never skip the intro too. I always watch.
It's a really good song.
It's great.
Yeah.
Not so much the ending song.
Definitely.
The opening. Yeah.
Definitely watch this anime.
All right, guys.
It's one of those hidden gems.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Watch it before Golgo watches you.
Oh God. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you.
Spoiler: Golgo wins.
That was our anime / Smudtalk. We haven't done it in a while, but that was fun. So, anyway, have yourself a great evening.